Hello, everybody, and welcome to race number 9 of Season 5 NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, aka Thrash Maniac 99, the voice of NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Lifelock 400 at Michigan International Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan, outside Detroit. And this is going to be an exciting 30-lap event here at this 2-mile track, very similar to Auto Club in California, except a little more grip and also other different aspects, I could say. But anyways, let's take a look at how the point standings look coming into this race. Dylan Schwanberg, after winning his 3rd race of the season and his career back at Talladega last week, he extended his points lead to 60 points over Dorian Facepuncher. 67 points behind in 3rd place is Chase Oliver. 4th place and 72 points behind is Checo Knight. And then a tie for 5th, who are both 74 points back, are rookies James Qualls and William Duncan. And then the rest of the top 10 is Charles Jackson, Sonny Hammond, Austin Weiner, and Chris Washer. And then the top 20 is Michael Norman, Danny Wells, Jesse Setti, PJ Williams, Joshua Balkin, Trent Dunham, Kendall Maynor, Seth Cole, Stephen Pollard III, and Charles Sandford. So that is how the top 20 in the standings look. As you see the starting lineup on the top of your screen, let's get this pace lap going. In the top 10 starting drivers, David Rivera on the pole. 2nd is going to be Jessica Sheldon. 3rd, Sean Galligan. 4th, Jackie Tang. 5th, Dylan Young. 6th, Sonny Hammond. 7th, Mitchell Riggs. 8th, Matt McIntyre. 9th, Chris Washer. 10th is going to be Joshua Collard. That is how the starting lineup in the top 10 looks. This should be an interesting race here with the Lifelock 400 at Michigan. Pace car pulling into pit road. And now we're getting ready to go racing. Here we go. Boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys and girls. David Rivera manages to get clear of Jessica Shelton, but now Sean Galligan's going to have some open room here in just a moment. He's going to try to go down low to get the lead already here. But will he get low enough to get by, though, or will Rivera be able to use the higher groove to his advantage? And Rivera is going to lead lap number 1 here at Michigan. And David Rivera, after finishing dead last week at Talladega, he fell big time in the point standings. I believe he fell from just about 10th or 11th in points, I believe, after Texas, to now falling to around 28th or so in points. That shows you how close the point standings can be from a large range of positions. And right now, here comes Jessica Sheldon down low for 2nd underneath of Galligan. Meanwhile, Jackie Tang holds on to 4th. Dylan Young still holding on to 5th, but Joshua Michaels and whoa, I see Dylan Thoreau got turned. He's going for a long slide, but a bigger wreck has happened. Oh, and that was Rube McIntyre, and he's barrel rolling. And he's still flipping, and he's going to go to rest on his roof. Cole Dally involved. James Qualls got a piece of it. Same with Chase Oliver. Is there any other cars? No. Dylan Thoreau got spun, but managed to save it. And it looked like we got away with just a few cars that wrecked. But either way, our first caution has come out on lap 3. And the leader is David Rivera, and it looks like some cars are going to stay out, some are going to pit. it looks like. Interesting pit strategy on the part of some of these guys to see who can go the distance potentially when it comes down to it. And David Rivera is going to go in. Same with Galligan. So the leader now is going to be Jessica Sheldon. Then you're going to have Sonny Hammond, Matt McIntyre. And I'm trying to see who else. Mitchell Riggs, Kendall Maynard, Collar, Danny Wells, and a couple others that are going to stay out and try to see if they can short pit with about 10 to go. But we'll find out when we get back to it. But first, let's take a look at the replay of what brought the caution out for the first time today here at Michigan. Well, back here, they were running 4 wide, and it looks like contact starts with Trent Dunham and Dylan Thoreau. And Thoreau, it looked like his car got tight, and he started to push up the track, and that's what happened. And then back here, Thoreau did get the wall. And then back there, it looked like 3 cars just got bunched up. Let's see. Oh, it was just a case of a lot of James Qualls getting bounced around in a 4-wide battle. First, the contact with Chase Oliver and Qualls, and then he bounces off in between Oliver and Rue McIntyre, and then that causes the contact to occur. And then 28 got the outside wall, and then Cole Daly helped push the car into a flip, and Michael Norman actually got a piece of it. Wow, Ian Dutta. How did Dutta avoid that? That's what I want to know. Let's take a look at how many times the 28 of Rue McIntyre goes flipping here once this contact occurs. He's going to go over 1, right on top of Qualls' car. So he went over once, now 2, about 3. So about 3.5 to 4 times he went over. But that was a wild ride for the 28 of Rue McIntyre. And there you see Cole Daly, who ended up getting involved in this wreck. So, yeah, that was indeed a case of just cars getting bounced around and hard racing early on. But that does it for the look at the replay. Let's go back to the restart here at Michigan. Well, after the first caution, just as I thought, 1 car officially retired out of the race, and that was Rue McIntyre. But I'm shocked that Cole Daly's actually continuing after getting the front end damage he got. But half the cars pitted, half stayed out. Jessica Sheldon's the leader, 2nd Sonny Hammond, 3rd Matt McIntyre, 4th Mitchell Riggs, 5th is Kendall Maynard, 6th Joshua Collard, 7th Danny Wells, 8th Joshua Balkin, 9th Brandon Gonzalez, 10th is Trent Dunham, 11th is PJ Williams, 12th Chris Thomas, 13th Charles Jackson, 14th Austin Weiner, 15th Dylan Schwallenberg, 16th David Rivera, 17th Sean Galligan, 18th Jackie Tang, 19th Joshua Michaels, 20th is Dylan Young, 21st Seth Cole, 22nd Jecko Knight, 23rd Anthony McCrory, 24th Jesse Setti, 25th is Chris Washer, 26th James McLeod, 27th William Duncan, 28th Michael Norman, 29th is Stephen Pollard III, 30th Cody Lamas, 31st is Charles Sanford, 32nd Alex Hawkins, 33rd Preston Blord, 34th Kyle Matthews, 35th Ian Dutta, 36th Brandon Nichols, 37th Dylan Thoreau, 38th Cole Daly, 39th James Qualls, 40th Dorian Facepuncher, and 41st is Chase Oliver. So that is how the lineup looks coming to the restart, and Schwallenberg, the points leader, restarts 15th. But a long ways left to go. Anything can still happen. 23 laps to go here at Michigan. And already cars going to start diving low to try to get to the bottom lane to get some spots. And already I see 3 wide, I believe, with PJ Williams, Austin. Oh no, that's Brandon Gonzalez. Make that nearly 4 wide. Did I just... Oh, I thought I saw a turning right there, but I guess not. And we are still clean and green here at Michigan, and Jessica Sheldon is up at the front. And remember, she is no stranger to victory lane at this track. She won here back in season 1, right before the chase for the championship. When she did win the championship begin, she won here at this exact place. Can Jessica Sheldon get a second win at this track and move higher up in the points? And she's been in desperate need for a victory. She has not been to victory lane since season 3. Last season she had a complete struggle. This season's been kind of more the same in a way. But we'll see if Jessica can turn all that around with a big victory here at this place. Sonny Hammond been keeping a steady pace right behind Jessica Sheldon, just not really going for any moves at the moment. He could be waiting to do that towards the end if they stay up at the front, but it depends on pit stops as well, because these two have not pitted yet. Let's take a look around back. Yeah, I figured James Qualls. Now, I apologize for that. I don't know what happened there. There was a big lag spike. I'm not sure why that had to happen, but yeah, just as I suspected, James Qualls and Cole Daly appear to be off the pace. Although Daly, he's kind of at the tail end of the pack, but he isn't going as fast as everybody else. So yeah, he is a bit off the pace. Meanwhile, back up at the front, Sheldon still leads the way. Back here, a 3-car battle for the 3rd spot between Joshua Collard, Kendall Maynor, and Matt McIntyre. All 3 of these cars have not been to victory lane this season and would want to pick it up, but Collard is actually going to fall behind, and now that's going to bring Mitchell Riggs into the battle for 5th now. Joshua Balkins up in this mix as well. And then you got Gonzalez, Wells, and Galligan. I'm starting to think that if these leaders... What the hell? That was a major lag right there. They just disappeared and reappeared. I don't know what happened there. But as I was trying to say... yeah, as I was trying to say right here, is that if this race stays green the rest of the way, and these cars who are running up here who have not pitted yet have to pit, the question is, would Galligan, Rivera, and those cars who pitted earlier be able to go the distance? That's the big question, but I doubt it, depending on the fuel window at this track. And I apologize for the lag spikes. I'm not sure why it's happening. As I'm looking on the frames, we're at an even 30, but right around here is where the spikes seem to be happening. Right now, Joshua Balkins moved into the 6th position. And I see Galligan, who was a driver who pitted earlier on. He's starting to move his way up through the field, and it's 4 wide, nearly 5 wide, I believe, for the 8th position, I want to say. But who's going to get the edge? Looks like the high line seems to be the better line at the moment, as Mitchell Riggs is actually going to surpass, and whoa, huge lag spike once again. Must be a frame drop issue, I'm not entirely sure, but I've dealt with worse. But Jessica Sheldon leads us at the halfway point. And right now we got cars coming into the battle for 2nd, as Matt McIntyre trying to ease up to the bumper of the 17 of Sonny Hammond. But Kendall Maynor's right behind him, same with Collard. And then you got Balkan and then Galligan, who is starting to catch up to this lead pack. And I believe he would be, I would say, under a second behind. And he Was 1.21 seconds back last lap. Let's see how much has he gained. About 3/10 almost. Right now, here comes Kendall Maynard down low for the third spot, but Matt McIntyre, I'm thinking the high line seems to be the preferred line at the moment. Cars are able to utilize the higher groove in order to get by, and now here comes Collard, and he's going for a power move. Collard going for a power move up high above Kendall Maynard, and he might be able to get to the fourth position now. And now Balkan gonna follow suit. And Collard, he actually has a strong car right now running up high. And he's gonna potentially get past Kendall Maynard, but Maynard, he's still able to keep it down low and still be side by side. But Collard, let's see if he can clear him off of turn 4 here. And he did it. Wow, Collard utilizing the high line to get by the 20. And he got the position. That is impressive. And now Galligan gonna try to go low and see if he can get the low line to work. And speaking of the low line, Collard gonna try to go low underneath of Matt McIntyre, and he's there. I guess Collard's got a strong car at the moment during the long runs, as we've been under green for a while now. Let's see if Collard is going to get clear. And he is. Yeah, Collard, he is fast right now. Collard is able to utilize both lanes and get to him. Collard is almost a half a second back according to the ticker. And he's moved himself into the third spot. Now he's just got to get by 2 more cars and he'll get the spot, the top spot. Oh, and they could be catching James Qualls if they don't end up pitting here in just a couple laps. Because Qualls, he's going 185. These cars are going 185 in the turns, so yeah, Qualls definitely slow. And speaking of Collard, here he comes down low for second. And wow, he gained almost 2/10 that last lap. But remember, depending on the fuel window, some of these cars have to come and pit to top off on fuel, depending on the pit window these cars are running on. And we know guys like Sean Galligan, David Rivera, and all them are about 4 or 5 laps to the good. But depending on if we have a caution come out here in about a lap or so, we'll see what happens. Is Collard not really able to get by Sonny Hammond yet? Hammond able to utilize the high line during that battle. And now Collard starting to lose a tiny bit of momentum, but he's still within pace of the 17 car. Meanwhile, Jessica Shelton still leads the way, but Qualls, the leaders are almost to Qualls. They're about a half a straightaway behind the 55. Oh, and I see one car going into pit road, and that's Danny Wells. He was a car who did not pit under that first caution. That is a sign for those guys up at the front that they'll have to pit here pretty soon. And there is Qualls still a little bit ahead. And I see Jessica Sheldon, Collar, and all them, they're pulling down low. They are coming into pit road. And that's going to hand the lead over. Whoa, Jesse Setti almost came up and nailed McCrory, it looked like. With that handed the lead over to Sonny Hammond, but I don't think he pitted under the last caution either. So with Galligan and them, they're going to be close because the pit windows happen between now lap 22 and 24. So it's going to be close as to who can get the victory if this race stays green. And now here comes Sonny Hammond in the pit road and with Kendall Maynard. And now that's going to hand the lead over to Sean Galligan. So there you got James Qualls. And Michael Norman actually has no hood. Did he run into the back of somebody? Or was that damage sustained from that first caution? That's the question. Wait a minute. No, there's Michael Norman. Who is that? Oh, Mitchell Riggs has the damage. What in the world happened to the 31? Did he run into the back of somebody? I'm kind of confused right now. I'm not too sure as to what had happened to Mitchell Riggs. Oh, he might have gotten into the back, I think, potentially of Qualls during the wreck. I'm not entirely sure, but Mitchell Riggs, he was fine. I don't know. I'm kind of confused right now as to how that's happened. But meanwhile, back up at the front, Sean Galligan has the lead, but Seth Cole is coming fast. And remember, Seth Cole is a closer right now because remember, back at California earlier at this very similar layout, he ended up winning the race. Could he be going for 2 in a row at 2-mile tracks like this? Because if he is closing fast on Galligan. But then you got Dylan Young, Anthony McCurry, Jackie Tang, Jesse Setti all in the mix as well. It's going to be interesting to see as to who could pick up the victory here. And there you see James Qualls. Oh, what are you doing, Qualls? What are you doing? Oh, I thought he was going to LePage some cars, and that wouldn't have been very pleasant. Meanwhile, Seth Cole is right to the back bumper of Galligan, but do they have enough fuel to make it to the end? That is the big question. I think they might have enough, but who knows? As Seth Cole is coming in down low for the top spot. But Galligan gonna utilize the high line and stay clear. Dylan Young waiting quietly. He might be trying to time his move just right because he is within distance. Oh, wait a minute. Cars are going in the pit. Galligan and Cole, they don't have enough fuel apparently, but Dylan Young is going to stay out, and he has been a snake-bit driver in the history of Walmart Cup Series. He has not been to victory lane in a long time. This could be his chance if he can stay out and save enough fuel. He's got 2 laps, less than 2 laps to do it. And the closest car that could even maybe get to him is Chris Washer, along with David Rivera, Alex Hawkins, and Kendall Maynard. But we're going to find out what's going to happen. Is Dylan Young slowing down? No, he's going to stay out again. And he's coming to the white flag this time. White flag is out. Margin was 2.3 seconds. This time it's 2.2. I think Dylan Young might be able to pull it off, but if he runs out of fuel, who knows what could happen. As a lot of cars are getting put a lap down as a result of everything that's going down here in these final couple laps. With more pit stops, Dylan Young, is he pulling in? No, he's not, but the caution's out, but it don't matter. Coming to the checkered flag, Dylan Young, after a long drought and struggle, Dylan Young wins the Lifelock 400 at Michigan. And as I saw the caution come out, I wonder which cars were involved. Oh, William Duncan's got some damage. Is there any other cars that might have been involved in an accident? As I see smoke, looked like it happened on the backstretch, but there won't be really any need to take a look at a replay considering the race is over. And Dylan Young has pulled off the victory, and I think he's run out of gas, but he's just now slowing down to go into pit road. Whoa, Alex Hawkins gets turned through the infield. That's a wild ride for him, but hey, it is what it is, and let's take a look at the results. Dylan Young, after a long drought and struggling seasons, Dylan Young finally gets a victory again, and he gets it here at Michigan. That's going to help him out a lot in the point standings. Chris Washer gets his best finish this season of second. Great job for him. David Rivera, solid top five for him. Alex Hawkins gets his first top 5/10 of the season, so solid job for him. Sean Galligan, who had potentially the win at the end due to pit strategy, had to come down the pit road to top off on fuel, but he's still going to be satisfied with that fifth place finish. Jackie Tang, the driver who comes in last place in points, I believe, he comes away with a sixth place finish. Anthony McCrory, who's another one of those low-end drivers in the points, he comes away with seventh. And then the rest of the cars finished a lap or more down due to pit stops. Seth Cole, great job at finishing eighth. Jesse Setti, solid ninth. And Ian Dutta, rounding out the top 10, great job for him. Rest of the top 20, Matt McIntyre, Kendall Maynor, Austin Weiner, Charles Sanford, Jessica Sheldon, who dominated the race, Jekko Knight, Sonny Hammond, Joshua Collard, James McLeod, Dorian Facepuncher. Rest of the top 30, Joshua Michaels, Danny Wells, Stephen Pollard III, Trent Dunham, Cody Lamas, Brandon Nichols, Dylan Thoreau, Brandon Gonzalez, Kyle Matthews, Preston Plord. And the rest of the top 40, Chris Thomas, Chase Oliver, Charles Jackson, PJ Williams, Joshua Balkin, Michael Norman, Dylan Schwanberg. Not a very good points day for him. He could lose a lot of his points lead depending on who finished ahead. William Duncan, Cole Daly, Mitchell Riggs, and then 2 laps down James Qualls, and then the one car that finished out of the race that didn't finish is Rue McIntyre. So with that being said, congratulations to Dylan Young, and here are your results, rookie points and regular points, heading into the next race, which is at Kansas. But until then, this is Levi McIntyre, signing off.